What is up guys, my name is the Eagle Swords, you're watching episode 5 in my Grid 2 Let's Play. So, let's get straight into this. I've got a vehicle challenge to complete, I just noticed that one. What is it, a Dodge Charger? Nah, I'm not really interested in the Dodge Charger. Let's go back into World Series Racing. What have we got? We've got a couple of races. We've got a Motor Mavens Face-Off Series. We've got the Intel Race Series. So, let's see, we've got 1, 2, and then that one's obviously coming soon. So we've done one series, got a first placer in that, got a first place in that, I should say. And then we've got 2 others, including the Intel Race Series. And let's hop back in straight, let's hop straight into this, because this one looks kind of nice. Indianapolis, 2 tracks. Intel is the sponsor. Let's go straight into this. What shall we use? I want a car with a big top speed for this one. Could use the Mustang, but the Chevy's a lot better than the Mustang, really. Let's go ahead and use the Chevy again. I enjoyed using it the last time around. It's not the best car in the world, but it performs fairly well. So let's try this again. Here we go. So I think we're at the Indianapolis GP circuit, or at least one of these races, which I know quite well. That was the one that we did the test drive. We did the test drive on right at the beginning. So this should be fairly straightforward to complete. I see Codemasters games still have the silly zoom out and zoom in feature on the menus. Don't really know what the point of that is, to be honest. Like L2 and R2, or the left trigger, right trigger. Like zooms in. I don't get that, you know. Although
there's Harrison Carter. That guy can drive dirty, so stay
I don't care. Just get me in my race, man. Here we go. And away we go. Lights out. Here we go. Right, alright, I'm past 1 through my pure speed and my slipstreaming. Pass him on the outside of this one. Around the outside here. Bit of contact.
Nice pass. Move on to the
Can't really avoid that. Up the inside we go. I think I'm clear of that guy right behind me. Got nice control there. Well, I'm gonna let this guy go in front of me through the corner. I don't want to collide with him. Let's pass up the inside. Under braking, lovely pass there. That was a beautiful little pass. And onto a big straight here. I've got to try and catch good old Bruno Silva on this straight as much as possible, maybe under braking. I'm within touching distance now. I'm on the power a lot earlier than he is. And then up the inside beautifully there. And then a little bit of cut. There is like anti-corner cutting mechanics in this game. It does the I can't remember actually whether this was present in the original Grid. I played a lot of the original Grid, but I can't quite remember whether they had anti-corner cutting mechanics like this game, where it like limits your speed for a while. I'm gonna get him on this straight. The raw power is enough. He's trying to block.
No complaints about that lap.
I'm coming through. I'm coming through very nicely indeed. And there's the braking point.
Okay, Eagle. That's the lead. Now hold on to it.
Whoa. I misjudged the braking point just a tad there. That was quite the corner cut. I was just slowing down a bit because it seems that slowing your speed down a little bit can prevent the game sort of punishing you for corner cutting. So let's try that.
Keep holding that lead. Second might still make a challenge.
Lead is still right. So Harrison Carter is right behind me, actually. Braking points there for this one. And around this corner there. And then I like to chuck it in onto that one. Thought I was going to spin out there for a second. I messed up that series of corners. It's a very rapid procession of corners right there, so it can get a little bit weird. So And I'm going to cross the line and go into the final lap on this straight here. Look at the crowds. The crowds look and feel as though they're rendered very nicely. This game graphically is just phenomenal. If only games like Gran Turismo with their simulation handling, I messed that up big time. Because I'm too busy talking about Gran Turismo. I was a big fan of the older ones, but on current gen it feels like it's lagging behind all the other races on the market really. If they could get graphics like this and maintain their phenomenal handling model, then then it would be a really good game. It's just saying this because, you know, out of all of the Xbox One's exclusives, the only one that I feel can't be matched by anything that Sony has to offer is Forza 5. Doesn't mean that much to me, to be honest, because I know that there will be things like Grid 3 probably on the next gen, but I still kind of feel like Sony needs something to match up with it. I don't know whether Drive Club is going to achieve that. We'll see. Ooh, that's a bit of a chucking.
You got 5 seconds on the car behind you. Stay focused and keep
5 seconds, really? This Harrison Carter guy. His driving is not as good as his name, clearly. But yeah, I'm recording this in case you're wondering on the 19th of August, the day before all the big Gamescom conferences. So you never know, the Gamescom conference might make a difference to my opinion on that one. But hey, that was a very good win there. I was miles ahead of the enemy, not the enemies. What am I talking about? My opponents there. 6 seconds, as near as makes the difference. 6.1, something like that. So I've got 20 points going into round 2. So good series so far. Let's see what we can do on the final round. I don't know what track it is. I believe it's another variation on Indianapolis, but I might be wrong. You never know. I will soon find out, I suspect. The loading times, while annoying, can't really complain about them. I know other racing games have much worse loading times than this one does. But it still feels like there could be some improvement to be made there. But here we go. Back on Indianapolis, as I said, let's see what we can do. I think this is the exact same circuit that we were on for the test drive earlier in the career mode. Here we go. So this guy's crossing over in front of me. I'm going to dive up the inside. Make a nice clean pass on these guys. This is easy mode. This is just easy mode. This car is really quite nice. My opponents are mostly using things like Silvias and things like that. Oh, big crash there. I should have gone up the inside. I think I'm going to. Don't see the need to brake so much into that corner. Oh, that guy cut across me big time. I saw that coming out of the corner of my view, so I braked a little bit. I tapped on the brakes just to make sure I didn't have a colossal collision. Trying to race nice and clean. Oh, hello. That's a big drift. See if I can pass him up on the outside. And then the inside going into the next corner. A little bit of a collision there. I'm not going to let that faze me. I've got to go after Harrison now. Let's see. This corner is in common with the previous track, so should be pretty good on this one. Oh, hello, Harrison. His speed going into that final corner was pretty poor. And then here is the variation on this track. A bit of a drift going into the final straightaway. I'm trying to pull a NASCAR on these spectators and just drive up really close to that wall.
That's a great start.
In case you're wondering.
Position in the race is yours.
Good start though. Coming into the rest of the loop, that was a big collision. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to stick close to the wall, try and turn as little as possible. But I don't think it's working too well. This car has a very large tendency to just drift at will. For some bizarre reason. Putting a lot of wheels on the grass right now. Putting more drift into this. The these cars, they all handle very, rather irritatingly, like, you know, they're very drifty. They've got a very, shall we say, loose back end. So, I hope that changes. All of these cars have, like, oh, that's a corner cutting detected, so there you go. Got a chance to demonstrate the corner cutting punishment mechanic thingy. All of the cars that I've driven thus far in my campaign have been part of like a drift class. So I'm hoping that there are cars later on in this game that do not handle that way. Because I don't like that, you know, these cars have a ridiculously loose back end. And it's a little bit weird. I don't like it too much. Anyway, going back into this straightaway. There's the braking point for this corner. Bit of a drift on. There you go. I'm getting the hang of Indianapolis. I know this track quite well. It's not like an original track. It's obviously a real one. So I know it quite well from other games. So I know the rough layout. So I can just about manage. Which is good. I've just, you know, I've realised that tarmac out wide doesn't look like it's the grippiest of tarmac, but you can totally go out onto it off that corner, so you can carry a bit more speed.
On the car behind you. Stay focused.
Oh no, I've done that again. I've been corner cutting, back on the speed limiter. Really need to stop doing that. I feel like that corner is kind of made for cutting though. Anyway, I'm miles ahead of Harrison, so we're all good. Here comes the finish, and across the line. There we go. That was a good series win. Still very, very easy. So there we go. Let's continue straight away. I love that this game calls me Eagle. I find that utterly bizarre. But anyway. Pretty solid positioning thus far in the pack. Right. Let's see, how many fans did I gain off of that WSR series win? Not many by the looks of things. Oh my goodness, it's going into the 60s. 65,750 fans. I know that's really XP, but hey, it's better than calling it XP at the end of the day. Works quite nicely, I suppose. Anyway, let's see.
Okay, Eagle. Well, the fans here in the U.S. have really taken to the WSR, so
I'm
I
sure
think
they
it's
have.
time to host our first championship final. I'll see you on the starting line to close this season out.
Sorry, what? I don't know what he's on about. Let's have a look at the promos, actually. Oh no. Oh no, an endurance. I don't want to race endurance, man. Let's race this this vehicle challenge, actually. I think it should be quite fun. It's a track that I don't recognise, so I don't think I've done this track before. So it should be quite interesting to watch, and quite interesting to play. I've been wanting to mix up the tracks a little bit for a little while now. Getting a bit repetitive. I have a feeling that the game is sort of sticks to a set list of tracks for each season of the WSR that you go through. I assume that's what's going on anyway. Anyway, I don't think I've raced this track before, so this should be fun.
Racing too close could end in disaster.
Sorry, they're not two people on the track, are they? No. It's just straight up Trailblazer time trial event. Nice. Looking forward to it. Well, this car handles quite nicely, actually. Having said that, it is still a little bit tail happy. No, I've done this track before. It's just a slightly different light or something along those lines, so it looks a little bit different to me. But it's the same kind of coastal, foresty track. Oh, that was a pretty shitty cornering there. Right. I'm not doing too badly. I think I'm well on course for the target time. Let's get a big drift on. That was pretty poor, I have to say. It's a very understeery car, really. Gotta be careful about my entry speeds into these corners. Like that, for example. I need to be coming out wider. I came way too narrow on the entry. To the curb. There we go. That was nice. Up the curb. I haven't been through this bit. I don't recognize it. That's for sure. Very nice looking mountains and a bit of braking. Oh, my car lost a lot of grip. Bounced a little bit off that exit. Braked very early for that corner. I'm trying to be a bit cautious now. Try not to cock things up too much. I don't believe we're too far away from the finish line. I have a feeling this entire run has been a little bit slow, a little bit sluggish. I haven't driven my fastest, so could come down to the wire. Or not. I can see the finish line right ahead of me. Here it is. And across the line, easily beat that time. This is easy. This game is far too easy, and I've bumped the difficulty up as well to hard, so I don't really know what's going on. That was way too easy. That was way too easy. 8 seconds under the target time, and I didn't really drive particularly quick. So, what does that tell you? Here we are. Back at the 1940s desk.
Alright, there's a promo event to try. Now, it's an endurance race, so you're gonna need to commit once you start. Do well,
Really?
though, and you'll win over a whole bunch of new fans.
I'm not interested in fans. Sorry, bruh. Right, let's see. What do we have? Rockstar Energy Race Championship. Let's go for the face-off series, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. That sounds like fun. I still think the Chevy is the best car for the job on this one. Out of my rather shitty garage of cars. So let's try it. This is face-off. So I've done a bit of face-off before. The Trans-American Pacers series was a face-off series. I think this will follow a similar format. So here we go.
The track has a lot of undulation, so the car might shift around a bit.
Yeah, it does. I just did this track, obviously, for that vehicle challenge.
Push this car hard and her back end will break out. Drive her like you should, and you could come out on top.
Okay, so we're racing against Bruno Silva right off the bat in a face-off race, and I'm driving the big Chevy. I'm really enjoying driving this car, actually. It handles fairly nicely, which is a bit odd considering it is an American car after all. Got a lot of power on the straights, and yeah, I mean, considering the weight, it certainly doesn't handle too badly. That was shockingly awful. I'm going to rewind that one. I messed up this corner. I slipped a bit. Other than side. There we go. That was beautiful. Lost time through there though. A little bit slow on the gas. There you go. Nice. Trying to keep it smooth to a greater or lesser extent. You can sort of cut these quite well. You know, these drift class cars in this game, you kind of have to grab them by the scruff of the neck and just manhandle them through the track. Just letting the rear end slip very easily. Like that. You know, I carried a lot of speed through that corner, which I was hoping I was going to say my opponent doesn't seem to have done the same, but I don't think I agree. I think old Bruno back there is very close behind me. let's just oh, that was bad. I was too busy staring at my mini-map, to be honest. Slow the pace down a little bit. Right, here we go. Up towards the finish. Here we go. Let's keep it together, keep it together, keep it together. There you go, across the line. I don't know, Bruno seemed very, very close. I don't think that was the best time possible. 1:57.7. Better than my previous time.
Nice result, pal. Superb.
Doesn't tell me how much, how close I was, but oh well. Up against old Felix Wilson. I like how this game has a bit of continuity to the drivers, because I recognise the Canadian. I recognise the Canadian there, Felix Wilson. So yes. Here we go.
The track has a lot of undulation, so the car might shift around a bit. Be careful.
Alright, so I'm in the ahead position versus Felix Wilson. I've got a little bit more power off the line, so make a nice pass early on and stay in front. That is my tactic in face-offs, really. That was shockingly awful handling. I need to come out a little bit wider and then cut inwards if I want to not crash on that corner. Bit of a clip on that barrier there, actually. Bit of wheel spin. Again, another. I'm not driving particularly well at the moment. I'm trying to concentrate and not like mess up these corners in particular. There's a lot of kind of variation in height, in track height, and a lot of highs, a lot of lows, things like that. So it's very easy to get caught out on this particular track. It's a very good track for a trailblazer, though, which is effectively what this is. Time trials, trails, whatever. So there we go. It's kind of got a little bit of a rally feel to it, actually. Especially considering the tail-happy nature of this car's handling. Don't crash into that barrier. Beautifully done, I think. Good old Felix is back there, quite far away. It's this white flag on the right-hand side, but that's the braking point. And there we go. Oh no. My car just dug in there with the drift and just almost span. I did manage to correct it out of the spin, but I couldn't quite correct it out of that crash. So I would have lost a little bit of time through getting off, just that tiny bit there. So let's see. Finish line's right up ahead though, so I should be good for the race win. That's about a second quicker than the previous one, so that was pretty good.
Well, there should be no doubt in anyone's mind about your abilities now.
Alright, let's go into the final of this face-off series in the WSR versus a Mexican. Carlos Alvarez. Something like that. Looking forward to this. Let's see what we can do. Let's go into the final round. Back on the California Trail, whatever it's called, in the Motor Mannen's face-off series of the WSR.
For trading paint and face-off, meaning they'll give as good as they get.
Yeah, they will. Bit of contact. There's certainly a genuine possibility. Although I've got the early pass as always. It's quite bizarre actually, because they in face-offs I find the opposition to be very easy to overtake off the start. but they're a little bit tricky to shake. I mean, you don't seem to gain very much time on them. You don't seem to gain a particularly big cushion between you and them. I don't know whether that's because the AI adjusts to a sort of quicker driving style if you start to get away, or what. I know Need for Speed Most Wanted was a big culprit of that. AI just randomly speeding up when you started to get away, keep it interesting, as it were. Bit of a stupid mechanic, really, because it was impossible to build a cushion. I'm going to use another rewind. This track is forcing me to use a lot of my rewinds, actually, which is a little bit frustrating. I don't want to be using these rewinds as much as possible. I may well turn them off at some point in the future, but who knows. In the dirt there, I often find, I think it's a little bit quicker going through the dirt on that corner. A little bit of drift. Braking just before, oh shit. That was a big old crash. Let's persevere through it. Should allow Carlos Alvarez back into this one a little bit, which is exactly what I want. Get a little bit exciting. But I rolled the car there and just thought the recovery would be pretty sweet, and it was. Taking out American stop signs for days. And here is the finish line. Quite a bit slower than my previous 2 rounds, but it is enough. The AI seem to be adjusting their speed depending on how fast or slow I'm going, so that's bizarre. But anyway, final results are good. We've won this face-off series pretty nicely, pretty convincingly. Top of my friends leaderboard as well. So this is good. This is going well. Let's see what event I have available to me after that face-off series. Other than the, I think it will be just the Rockstar Championship final thingy. It will probably be just that one for the time being, which is a little bit disappointing, but hey. Okay, so 80,000 fans. And on that note, it is time to end this episode. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you liked it, leave it a like. If you didn't, tell me why, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.